Hi there, I'm Diane Evans with stampinwithdiane.com. I'm a Canadian demonstrator here in the interior of British Columbia. So this is part of the International Crafters video blog hop. I'm excited for this. This is our first one. So make sure that you do link on to the next video. Now, our theme for this month is kids or baby cards. So I kind of thought that I might combine the two. We'll see how it works out. In any event, that's where our inspiration came from. And honestly, I have the most adorable stamp set to share with you, and it's the Carousel horses. So without any further ado, let's just skip on right on down to my desktop here. So don't forget to log on to the next blog hop. So I am using the Carousel horses. I think this is an adorable set. You could use it for boys or for girls, but because if it's for a baby card, it could be almost for boys or girls. And also it has some fantastic dies that go with it. And there's a couple of things that I want to point out with this. And then I just got this one, and it's the Little Dreamers, and I think I'm going to go Little Baby Big Love or A Star is Born. I'm not sure exactly which one I'm going to use. I will decide right at the very end. So I am going to do just a fun fold type card, and it's a faux center step card. Now, you notice I went kind of gender neutral on this particular one, and the reason being for that is because this may be a baby card that you're doing, but you don't know the sex of the child. And really, in this day and age, does it really matter, right? So like I say, I'm doing a faux step card. So this happens to be 5.5 by 8.5 inches. And I've gone ahead and I've scored it at 3.25, 6.5, and 7.5. And let's bring in that bone folder and let's get a really good crisp folds with it. So I'm just scoring. I'm doing a mountain, valley, mountain. So and I'll show you what I mean. Well, actually, we're doing a mountain, a valley, and a mountain fold. And it's just going to go like this. And then I have some designer series paper that this happens to be 3 inches by 5.25 inches. And now this is the Brights designer series paper. I could have gone with this color, but I love polka dots, and especially polka dots for babies, right? So I'm just going to go ahead and put that on the inside of this card. Now it goes on this part, and I've decided on my step part I'm not using the same coordinating color as what the card base is, because I'm using basic white, and that allows for easy to write onto the back of the card. Now this piece here happens to be this is 3/4 of an inch by 5.25. So let's go and put that on there. If you have any questions, just reach out on here. But pretty exciting to be a part of this video hop. Right, so that just goes on there. And then this piece happens to be, and I've gone wider than what I normally would on one of these faux step cards, because the subject itself are the Carousel horses, and I need more space on there. So I've gone 3.5 by 8.5, and I've scored it at 4.25. And we'll just go and get a really good burnish on there as well. And then at the end here, what we're going to do is we're going to attach this, and we're going to attach this onto the card like this. And then you'll see how the card all comes together. All right, so this is where we're going to be putting all of our decorations and that sort of stuff. So I thought I'd do a carousel. There's these fantastic dies that have the carousel with these up top. And we're also going to use the 2 little tiny horses. And, you know, it's funny, when I first started playing with this, I did not notice that they were 2 different types of smaller horses. So I will show you that. And they also have different dies that cut that part out as well. So I'm using my paper piercing mat because this is a photopolymer stamp set. And I'm just using Memento because I might use some blends on here, or you definitely could use blends, but I'm actually going to use the colors of ink pads. So when you look at these horses, I'll just show you this. You can see that the head's up, the head's down, and then the feet are different on there. So, and then there's also two separate different dies on there. So I've gone ahead and cut that part out, and you can see that they're two separate. Now, the other part that's really kind of important with this is that you realize that they have these manes on here, and they're two different types for the different horses. This one happens to be because the head is up more that way. And then this, if I'm correct, no, I think that's the wrong one. That one goes there, and this one goes there. See, it's a good thing I checked on there. So just going to go ink this up. Now, this just takes a tiny bit to line it up. I have to use, I'm using Coastal Cabana, and we don't have a blend to that color. Otherwise, this would be really simple to line up with your, no, I'm wondering, have I got this at the right? Just want to make sure I've, no, that's that one. So this is just going to line up here. Let me do it on that one that I've just done here. We can double check it to make sure. There we go. And then this one is going to go to this one. And see how it just matches up completely there. So I'm just going to come in and let's do this one first. This one matches up really, really well. Like that. And then I'm going to come with the other horse, and we're just going to stamp the mane and the tail with that. And then there's also on here, there's also a saddle that we're going to put on. And the saddle actually matches both of them. So cute little saddle. Now there's these little dots that go here. So you're just going to match that part up. Just like that. You can see how that's matched up, and see it matches into there. And then I'm going to do the saddle on the other horse as well. So I find the easiest way to line this up is on this part here, and then these little dots there. So we've got the two horses, and then on my card I'm going to have the horses kind of go at different levels so that you can so it's like a proper carousel, right? I originally wanted to do a really different card with this one, but I found that by doing that I was just going to be, it was going to take forever to show you this. All right, so also on these dies, let's see the carousel. The carousel comes like this, so we're going to put that there. And I'm not, it's going to be the horses that are popping up, not the carousel itself. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to put it more, well, in the middle there. So I'm just going to glue this part on. And I decided to stay with the Coastal Cabana. Whoops, oh, look at that. Now, one thing that you can do with this when this happens to you is you can just come in with a scrap piece of paper. Just take this off like this. And then just put it on to there. Then we're just going to match this up here, and we're going to center it. So just like that. Whoops. Now I've got a bit of glue coming out there, but I did go and cut a second carousel in the pool party, and I thought I could go ahead and put that in there, and that would just give a tiny bit of a different look to the top of the carousel. Originally, I also thought of possibly putting in the polka dots in there, and that didn't quite work. So All right. Let's just do that there. Now, they also have some dies that have, like, this is the part that goes on the top of the carousel here. And then there's also a piece that goes along the bottom. Now, I thought, oh, should I change colors with that? And then I thought, no, what I really want to do is I want to have the horses actually show up there. So now when I go to put these on, I want a horse to go. And you know what? I am going to quickly color in this part here. And I'm going to use a dark pool party. Because that's well, it won't even be dark because I haven't got a dark one. And I'm just going to color this part in. And that'll be enough to color in this part. You won't notice too much of a difference from the Coastal Cabana. So just like that. And just there, like so. There we go. Now, when I go to put these on here, I am thinking, should this one go up? And this is going down on the carousel. I'm thinking maybe this one goes here. There we go. So it can go, one can go up and one can go down. So we may have to, so that's going to go like that. But so what I want to do is I want to put those horses on now. And the reason being for that is so that I then can add the other pieces to it. So let's go ahead and put this on. Oops. One there. And I'm okay with not tacking down the posts on the carousel. The colors actually from this were inspired from a carousel that were, do I want it that way? I want it this way and then this way, this way, this way. There we go. We'll put this one here. Put that more over that way. By a carousel that I was on in Paris. So let's put this one up higher. And then what we can do is we can just trim that part off because that's going to be a little too high. And that I think will be okay. And then this topping, and it is embossed on it as well. I think you can see that there. And then this is just going to go onto here. Probably should have had this down just a bit. There we go, just a bit. Because of this part here. You know what? I'm going to bring this one down just a bit. Just put that on back onto there and bring this one down. There we go. And then when I put this up here, I'm going to go ahead and put a dimensional here, one in the middle and one there. And like I say, I could have gone and I could have changed the color of this. I could have used like a metallic on there as well. But my whole thought with going with that was I wanted it to really show off the horses. So, all right, so that's just going to go on there like that. And then this piece down here, I thought this would be good going across here. So I'm just going to glue this onto this bottom part, you know, and I'm not sure if that's the way that it's supposed to go. That's the way it worked for me. So this will just go on here. Oops, and I've got some glue on there. Should have let that set. There we go. Just going to let that set for a bit because I think we're going to put it right down on there. And oh, and you know what I could have done with these horses is I could have come in with my light gray granite, and let's just put a tiny bit of shadowing on these horses. And that's just going to kind of bring them out just a bit. And it's raised up so it's not going to print onto my other thing. I probably should have done that before, but that just adds just a tiny bit of shading on there. And it's not meant to really color it. So I'll just show you how that just sort of brings out those horses a little bit more. All right, so this is just going to go onto here, and it's going to go underneath so that it goes right on there. So I'm just going to actually, that didn't center. There we go. I'm just going to let that set for a second so that we can put that on the card. Now, I don't know if this from the stitched contour or the stylish shape dies. Hopefully I can get this little baby big love on there, and I'm going to come in with my Coastal Cabana. And we're going to see if that's going to actually go on here. Just want that to dry a little bit so that it doesn't ooze out on me. Okay. Let's see if this, I'm going to get this on in the right spot. This is like, I guess, by golly. Let's turn that over just a bit more. Okay, and luckily I went ahead and I did 2 of those. So we're just going to go down. There, much better. And then let's go and put this on here. This is just going to slip underneath that one there. And then we've got our carousel like that. So now we can go ahead and put that onto our card. I really like the big one as well. It's a lot of fun to play with. Now I'm going to have this go off a little bit off to the left side. So I'm just going to come and glue this part here. Going to let that set for a bit, and then I'm also going to glue this part here, and that's going to go onto the back as well. Now, if I wanted to, I could have done that stamping actually on the back of this card. Let's see how we've got that like that. Let's just move this stuff out of the way. But what a great thing to do as a baby card, right? So I'm just going to go ahead and put that right about there. And we're just going to hold that for a second and let that just sort of set. Now what I probably should have done was do a bit of sponging on there. When I do my lives, I'm so used to just doing, I create as I go. So that's just going to go onto the back. So let's just hold that for a second. And then this is just going to come across here. Little baby big love. Let's see. Want it there. Actually, that would have looked really nice in the Coastal Cabana with white embossing. I'm just going to come in with my a blending brush, and I'm just going to actually just put a tiny bit of this Coastal Cabana up here. I just want to take off just a tiny bit of the starkness of this white. It's not going to be that noticeable. And like I say, that would have been done better ahead of time. All right, so we have that. See, little baby, big love. actually, like I say, it could go on there. You know, I'm going to cut this, and this will work okay. Just going to cut this across here. We're just going to pop this up. Whoops, just get that straight. And we're just going to put it right there. Okay, I'm just going to put it up there with a dimensional. Normally what I probably would have done was put it onto this part here. But we're going to put it up here, because that's going to also go into the card. Little baby, big love. And then I'm using these ombre matte decorative dots. They have the Coastal Cabana ones right here. And I'm going to use the darker ones, I think. So let's just go ahead and stick those on there as well. And we can put another one right down here. There we go. So there's our card. I hope you enjoyed that. Now, don't forget to link on to the next, there'll be a link right down below to the next video hop. And I hope that you'll join us there. So stay tuned. We'll be doing this every month with different themes that were assigned. So have fun hopping along. Bye for now.